You're listening to Radio Mayapur with the best devotional, meditation, kirtan music, and inspirational podcast. This is Radio Mayapur.
Hello, good morning everyone. This is Ganga, your host from Radio Mayapur. Today we are in England. The weather is a bit cloudy, it's raining now and then, but that's a natural weather for British country. Yes, they say somebody stole their son, but sometime yesterday was a nice sunny day. I don't know what they did in the past. There are so many history, but we don't want to get into that. But today we are very, very fortunate. I have with me one of my brother from another mother. His name is Vishwambhara Das Prabhu, who is born in the same city I'm born, in Naples, in 1963. I think we are only few devotees. There must be more devotees from Napoli. I don't know many of them, but I feel very happy to be with him in his house. And today we are doing this podcast. He was grown up in Napoli. He did go to a Catholic monastery school. Then he did accountancy, and then he did 2 years of art school. And then he moved in 1984 in England. Before he joined in 1981 in Florence. And at the present he's doing something wonderful service, which is very dear to Srila Prabhupada and Krishna, which is inspiring people to do book distribution. Welcome, Vishwambhara Prabhu.
Hare Krishna,
I am very happy to have you in this podcast already in Mayapur. We have been very close for many, many years. Tell us a little bit about your past when you were a child or something, to give us a view. Because you grew up in Napoli. I was 3 years old when I left Napoli, so I don't remember anything. But still, I love Napoli because it's our city in our heart.
There is a say, see Naples and then you die.
Correct.
Napoli, it's a beautiful city. Many artists, they're born there. Yes, I was born 1963. At the age of 5, my parents, they divorced.
Oh,
and I ended up in a boarding school,
okay.
Catholic monastery, Istituto Geremica in Posillipo.
Posillipo, yeah.
And I studied from the age of 5 to the age of 16, brought up by nuns and priests. And then I came out and I did 2 years of accountancy 2 years of School of Belle Arti.
But what was the time when you were in this school? Because they're all priests and nuns. Was it a good experience for you?
It was actually good and bad.
Okay.
Because as we know, every institution has a dark side of it.
Of course.
I lost a friend, who was an orphan. He took his life because
the situation.
He was abused by the nuns, and priests. And of course, I had parents, and so we just suffered a little bit of violence, physical, corporal violence, but not any of the sexual abuse.
But corporal violence, I remember in the school, was natural, was normal. The teacher would say, "You're nonsense, give me your hand," and whack you with the ruler made of wood. It was kind of normal at that time.
Yes.
Because we were
naughty.
Rebels and we were naughty. We should say the truth also. We were not saintly guys.
Of course.
Yes. So, okay. So you did the art. Art is something very important in your life, I believe.
Yeah, they taught me how to play piano, singing.
Nice.
I've learned piano in the monastery. There was a lot of good things. They taught me how to pray.
Nice.
So, which I grew up with this bandhanam, we call it in ISKCON.
Yes.
Praying in morning, before eating, before sleeping, as soon as you wake up, thinking of Jesus, and then we get on with our days. So,
was a disciplined life.
Disciplined life, yeah, it was good.
And the piano they teach you still today make music. I know you make beautiful songs.
Yeah, I compose music, I play piano, and I was much more than that. I was a graphic artist.
Oh, okay.
And that's why I was one of the chosen pupil in my school of Belle Arti to do sketches and artwork. which in ISKCON also I used my skills to do paintings business, and I had some artists in Mayapur.
We did spend some time doing painting here in England for a few months, I remember, and
you came over.
We had such a good time.
Yeah, you came over, you stayed with me for a month or something, and we used to sell paintings, to my customers.
It was good.
So, joined 1981, then I went
in Florence you joined.
Florence.
So how did you meet the devotee? That is very important, because when you meet the devotee, your life changed direction.
Yes.
Is it not?
At the age of 17, I was with a friend of mine who met the devotees. He was older than me, 25 years old, and I was 17. He met the Hare Krishna, and he received a BTG. And we were in a restaurant together, traveling. I used to ride motorbikes. That time I did a little bit of stunt work for Cinecittà in Rome.
Right, yeah.
And we were in this restaurant, and I had this experience of déjà vu. I thought I already encountered that place. The environment was very much familiar. And I asked my friend, I think I've been already, but I couldn't remember in this life. He said, "Oh, you sound one of those Hare Krishna, maybe in previous lives, reincarnation." Anyway, so then after a year, I went to his house, and I was waiting for him, to take shower. And his mom, she made me sitting in the kitchen. There were two chairs, one underneath one set of cupboards, and then another set of cupboards. One of them had the tea, another one the coffee. She said, "What would you like?" I said, "Okay, I'll have a coffee." So I was sitting right underneath. She opened the cupboard, and this BTG fell in my lap, and I still got it, Prabhupada picture. And, it was the very first image, spiritual image, entering in my life, in contact with my eyes. Prabhupada was so kind, merciful, beautiful. And then my friend came out of the shower. He said, "Yes, you remember we were talking about déjà vu, reincarnation. This is the BTG I got from the Hare Krishna. You can have it." And then I visited the temple in Naples. This was 1979.
Right.
And then we
Naples we had a temple near the Vesuvio.
The Vesuvio,
I remember.
Guru Charan, my godbrother, was there with Akila, the big devotee.
Yeah.
And then, so I was a Sunday feast devotee.
Nice.
Then but I was young, 1981, I decided to join the temple in Florence and came back to Naples. Then I went from Naples, I went back to Florence, and then I was kidnapped by Mritwara and Prabhu.
Who was in Rome.
He took me to Rome.
He was in the Eur at the time, the temple.
But the one who preached to me, 1979, at the house of Prashanta Kiriti, because I was friend with his brother.
With the artist.
Yeah, with the artist.
Yes.
They joined 1978. I was friend with Giuseppe. He's a young brother, same age like me. And we went to this feast. We thought it was like a feast with the girls and women. But actually I was
You
tricked.
didn't know.
It was a Hare Krishna feast.
It was a Hare Krishna feast.
And we saw Mritwara and Tridanti, and Tridanti preached to me. And I remember, they had no teeth in their mouth. I said, "Do I have to take off my teeth, to
Why
join?"
Why they have no teeth?
Maybe because they
went to the dentist or something.
No, they had, like a bit of a, drugged background, both of them.
Yeah.
And and then I said, "Do I have to shave up also to?" They said, "Yes, you have to shave up to become a Hare Krishna."
Oh, and you have to have the cigar also.
So anyway, so then he convinced me to preach to me, and in 1981 I went to the Florence temple. Then I came back to Naples. So I was in and out. I was at the temple and I was thinking of my mom. I was with my mom and I was thinking of the temple. So I was like that, you know.
Moving from one place to another.
So then Mritwara came to Florence and he kidnapped me and a friend of mine and he took me to Rome. And
I mean, he didn't kidnap you. I mean, he told you, let's go. No.
Yeah, no, he practically said, you know, get the bag, you know, and get in the car.
Let's go.
Because I was actually a property of Panjajanya. I was his servant.
Oh, I see.
So Panjajanya got very angry because we disappeared. Okay. And so Mritwara took me to Rome and then I stayed in Rome. I was supposed to get initiated in 1983 and I refused the initiation because I was too young. And then 1984, after the installation of the Panchatattva, actually 1983 there was installation, Radha Vrajasundara. Mm-hmm. That's the year I was supposed to get initiated. But I went back to Rome. Then 84, I came back to Florence, there was installation of Panchatattva. And we brought Panchatattva in Rome. I spent 1 year in Rome. In December 1984, I came to UK. And I was in Saw Street for 1 year.
Doing book distribution?
Yeah, Rancho Prabhu, I couldn't speak a word in English. He gave me a piece of paper, yoga and meditation, and everyone is giving a donation. So since that time...
It was a mantra. Yoga, meditation, everybody gives a donation. Yeah. It's a rhyme.
So people, they would swear at me and I would smile at them because I couldn't understand the word in English. And so they thought I was very saintly and tolerant. But it's just because I couldn't understand the swear word.
Right.
So, but still, you know, I would do 100 books a day, you know, the higher taste.
That was a lot.
And that's book distribution became my English school. That's where I learned English. And then I was moved to Leicester, 1985, and I became Sankirtan leader and temple president in Leicester for 5 years. And
Leicester is a place where there's a lot of Indians.
Indians, yeah.
A lot of Indians. Big community of Indian shop,
yeah.
Indian masala, Indian restaurant,
it's like
Indian sari, Indian, everything is Indian there. You feel like you're in India.
Yeah. So I spent...
Nice people.
Very nice people. Gujarati
nice
community. So after that, I got married to my wife in 1990. And then Shivaram Swami appointed me as the Sankirtan leader for the manor.
Nice.
Director for the whole UK Yatra, training devotees how to do straight books. Because in those days they used to do the board, you know. And so Shivaram Swami took me under his wing, and for 6 years I was Sankirtan leader at the manor. And then after that I embarked for 10 years paintings, and I made a lot of money. That's how I bought my property. I became, let's say, an entrepreneur, you know.
Yes.
Then I gave up my business, paintings business, and I dedicated my life 2004 on book distribution.
Nice.
Full time. And they made me the minister for book distribution for UK and Europe.
That's nice.
And that's what I'm doing now.
Fantastic. And I believe that now you're also going to somewhere for some meeting with other people, and you are doing training courses as well. You know, Navina Nirada comes sometime. He's also a minister for somewhere, I don't know where. He was a minister for book distribution
He was
as well?
at some point some kind of GBC or minister in the world.
Maybe still is, I don't know.
I don't know.
But he's also similar to you. I mean, he trained people to do book distribution.
Yeah, I do lots of seminars. My specialty now is to do table to table, you know, to catch people when they're drinking coffee.
Okay.
I wait for the coffee to go to the brain, you know, they feel
so you
chatty.
can talk to them.
They feel chatty. I put Bhagavad Gita on the table, very friendly, and they give a big donation. Nice. So I'm training devotees. And I got that idea from Prabhupada, actually, because I was always wondering why Prabhupada would do the tea shops.
Yes.
He used to do the tea shop.
In Delhi,
tea shop, yeah.
People that are relaxed, they're drinking tea, they chat, they want to talk.
Yeah, and Prabhupada is, and I said to myself, Prabhupada was very clever. he would bend, the iron when it was hot.
Absolutely.
So I find people, in the very soft, fertile mood. I get like 20 pounds for the guitar, 50 pounds sometimes, they feel. And I meet a lot of wealthy people, celebrities, I meet actors, and
I've seen your photographs on Facebook with some of these people.
Yeah.
Who are famous people. I don't know them, but I'm sure they're famous because...
Somehow, I meet quite a few of them. And somehow they invite me in their confidence, they feel comfortable with me. They take Bhagavad Gita. Of course, it's the power of the Gita that is the magic, book distribution. We are just serving Srila Prabhupada and the Lord.
The mission.
And the power comes down, and Bhagavad Gita, it's self-illuminated, enters the heart of everybody. It's becoming a very popular book. Everybody's getting to know, celebrity, they say, oh, I heard about this book, I like to have a copy. And so I do a lot of training, devotees, now we're going to the ELM meetings, European leaders meetings, in a few days. And I usually do the presentations there. And I've introduced this concept, that, we have done door-to-door, street, car park, car-to-car. But now it's nice to explore table-to-table, which is not my idea, really. It's from Prabhupada.
Yes.
And it works.
Yeah.
Even at the line that I use, they ask me, what do you do for money, with this money, for the donation? I said, we print these books in order to help the society, to educate the society, to become free from these four-major sufferings like old age, disease, birth, and death. And actually, I'm using Prabhupada line, Prabhupada mantra, motto.
Absolutely.
Prabhupada, when he was in Dallas, he was asked by Sat Swarup Maharaj, what is the purpose of Gurukul? And Prabhupada said, is to free these children from the old age, disease, birth, and death.
Yes.
And then he turned around to Tamala Krishna Maharaj, because he used to be in charge of the Radha Damodar party.
Yes.
Said that is the same purpose for book distribution.
Absolutely.
We distribute books to free humanity from old age, disease, birth, and death, which are the four major suffering, which are chaining everyone into this world.
Tell me one of your best and worst experience in book distribution. Because I know you have many experience. I've been doing book distribution as well in India for 10 years, traveling Sankirtan, but I'm sure there's something vivid remain in your brain and then you think, this was the worst day or this was the best day, unexpected.
Actually, a very good question. Yes, in a nutshell, I can say, which one do you want to know first, the worst one or the best one?
Whatever you like.
Okay, so I'll tell you the worst one first,
Okay.
which when I came to this country, I couldn't speak much English. I was traveling 1985 from South Street. I was traveling with a group of devotees, brahmachari, to Boston. It's a town in north of England.
Mm-hmm.
And we used to do Sankirtan with a dhoti and
Dressed
kurta,
as
shaved
devotees.
up, dressed as devotees. And there was one devotee, he got bullied by some hooligans, football hooligans. It was at the end of the day, my bag was filled up with Lakshmi and many books we did, and I was happy, after a day of Sankirtan, you just want to have a kirtan, you're blissful,
Yes.
So, but these hooligans, they attacked one of the devotees, Bhakta Ben, this name was. Our Sankirtan leader was Sakiras, your godbrother.
No, Sakiras, yes.
So this hooligan, they had battered this friend of mine, and then he said, why don't you bully my friend over there across the street? Because he knew that I was brought up in a monastery, I was a street fighter, I was always fighting.
Always.
So but so he came to me and he challenged me and he said, your friend said that you can fight. Let's see, how can you fight? And he dragged off the bag, from my shoulder, and all the Lakshmi went down on the ground. I didn't want to fight because, you want to have a kirtan.
Yeah, at the end of the day, you're blissful.
Yes. So he punched me, and then I said, okay, are you happy? You can go. But he was not satisfied. Then I got attacked from behind, some of his friends. So I tied up my devotee, and then I saw they start to steal the money from the bag, all the Lakshmi on the floor, on the ground. Then I saw my friend Ben, on the bench with 4 of them. They broke, his back, really, one of his ribs. I said, okay, an offense to me I can tolerate, but
To the devotee.
to a devotee I have to do something. So when I, being a street fighter I was, I was
Ready.
never strong, but I was fast.
You were ready.
And so I, somehow or another, I knocked down, those 2 guys. And then, I helped my friend back to Ben. And then another 15 guys, they came out of the pub. And I thought I was going to die on that day because a lot of them, they broke the bottle, they smashed the bottle on the ground.
Yeah.
And they had
broken glass. Yeah.
They had, the handle of the glass in their hands, and one of them had a knife. I still got a pierced arm, So when I remember, when you fight with the knives, you take off the jacket, roll it up, around your arm. Somehow or another, I chanted Nishingadev pray, and, I fought with those guys. And then Titikshu Prabhu was there, my friend Titikshu, and he was there, and he was imitating me. He had about 7, 8 guys around him, and it was very scaring experience. He said, I'm more dangerous than him, and but we were lucky because they were drunk.
Oh, okay.
A lot of them, so easy to knock them down. So I took the shoe racker from a shop, and there were some girls, they received the books from us, Hales Angels girls. They helped us, to beat up those guys. So I was the goodie against the bad. So anyway, and I had blood everywhere. I didn't know if some was from them, and I also had a knife that pierced my arm. Somehow or another, I came out clean, nothing on my face. And that was the time when my faith in Lord Nishingadev became increased, because I thought I was going to die on that day. And I was also, being young, I said, oh my God, that, at the age of 20, I have to die, 21. It's a shame, but at least, I die serving, protecting devotees.
Nice.
And but somehow or another, the Lord helped us, and we came out. There was a couple of brahmacharis, they ran away. Sakyaras ran away. Sorry to say, it's embarrassing. There was another devotee, Ramachandra, he ran away. There was just me, Titikshu, Ben, and another one. But anyway, the police came and they arrested, these guys. No. So somehow or another, and it came on the newspaper, that story.
So publicity for the
the Sun newspaper.
Attacked by a hooligan.
Yeah. So that was my worst experience. But I never had a bad day on book distribution. It was, I could say it was scary. I was afraid, because when you fight, it's natural to be afraid. But that fear makes you surrender to the Lord. And then the Lord somehow or another...
Reciprocate.
Yes. And He protected us. Now, the good story.
The good story.
The good story, 2004, I got up that morning and I was on fire during the marathon. And Shivram Swami was texting me every day. He was in Govardhan. writing his book, and he was always
In Vrindavan.
in Vrindavan talking.
Nice.
Next to, he had a little a room, in the Govardhan Palace, and
Which you
every
look
morning
into
to the Samadhi of my Guru Maharaj.
Nice.
And having so much love for Tamal Krishna Maharaj, he would go there and he would report to him, all my scores every day. And I was doing like 100, 120 books a day,
Not
Bhagavad
bad.
Gita and
Not
Bhagavatam.
bad, not bad.
500, 600, 700 pounds a day. So that morning I got a text from him. He said, your Guru Maharaj wants you to do, it was the last day of the marathon. He said he wants you to do 150 books. I said, oh, I don't want to say it's impossible because we're not allowed to say this word.
Yeah, we cancel it from the dictionary.
Yeah.
Impossible.
So I said, I'll try. If that's the desire of my Guru Maharaj. So few devotees, they filled up my boot and my car full of books. And I had 80 Bhagavad Gita and 70 Srimad Bhagavatam.
Wow.
Part 1. It was Sutapa Prabhu, now he's Maharaj.
Right.
The day before him and Titikshu Prabhu, they brought these 2 pallets of books to my house, and they were, loading it, and he filled up my car with 150 books. So I said, okay, the only way I could do this if I leave after Mongol Aarti.
Yeah.
So I got up about 3 o'clock, I chanted most of my rounds, I went for Mongol Aarti, and then I embarked to Fleet Service area, which is on the M3 towards, Southampton. I arrived there about 5:30 in the morning, and I started to do book distribution, and I was in bliss. It was not cold, not hot. It was very misty day, cloudy, but a little bit of sun behind the cloud. It was very mysterious day, beautiful day. And I remember about 3 o'clock, I didn't even drink, because I didn't want to take a break to go to the toilet.
Right.
It was a samadhi. So from 5:30 in the morning up to 3 o'clock in the afternoon, then I was bursting. I went to the toilet, and then I felt very dizzy, being diabetic. And the service areas go steps. So I sat down for a few minutes, and I put my head on my knee. I lift up my head, and I saw beautiful color, arcobaleno, what do you call it?
Rainbow.
Beautiful rainbow. There was a little bit of drizzling, and people, they were stopping there. I could see all the cars, parked there, eating their lunch bag, sandwich.
Yes.
Some, they were drinking coffee. And I saw a beautiful scene, the sun coming out of the cloud, this beautiful rainbow. I felt so peaceful, and I had I glanced at the cars. I was just about to go back to the car to fill up my bag. And I saw each car, many cars, they had the blue Bhagavatam. I said, oh, I recognize that book. I saw many of the people having a glance of the Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita. I said, that's my book. And I didn't even realize, these are people that I gave them a book.
Oh, nice.
And I said, yes, I gave a book to that man or to that, there was quite a few of them. They were glancing.
You were looking at the books.
Looking at the book, and it was like such a beautiful similarity. The
light coming from the sky.
Between the Bhagavatam and the sun, there was a reflection of the sun on the windscreen, giving a light to the Bhagavatam. It was a beautiful scene. And I was I was in ecstasy. Then I went to the car. I said, oh my gosh, let me carry on. My boot was empty. And there was lots of money, a bag filled up with money. So in other words, I didn't even realize that I did
You finished all the books.
all the books, 150 Maha books, from 5:30 in the morning to 6 o'clock, so to 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So in ecstasy, I rang Shivaram Swami. I was crying in ecstasy. That was my most beautiful day that I had experience. I had on book distribution.
Nice.
It was a beautiful epiphany that I never forget. I felt so much in samadhi that I didn't. Those hours, those 8 hours, the 9 hours of Sankirtan, they just looked like 5 minutes.
It went very fast.
They felt like 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and I didn't even realize, that I didn't even recognize the people that I gave the book to. And so and the Lakshmi, it was 870 pounds, was my biggest score I've ever done in one day, yeah.
Amazing.
So I used to give 2 books at the time. People would give it 10 pounds, 2 books. Sometimes 7 pounds, 5 pounds, 2 books. So Shivaram Swami, he said to me, I've reported the scores because it was in evening, in India, 3 o'clock, and it was about 8:30 there. He said, I spoke to your Guru Maharaj, and he's very proud of you.
Nice.
So that was, he sent me a text, and I was very, I never showed that text to the devotees because with the fear that devotees could think, that, it's a sahaja, How can Shivaram Swami talk to a dead friend? But actually, on a subtle level, they were communicating. He said it to me that he's very proud of you. So
wonderful.
That's the beautiful story.
That's a beautiful story. Okay, how you see the future of this this movement? How you think we can improve, or how you think we should go about? And because today's youth are slightly different from what we were at that time. But what's your take, or what's your feeling about?
I've always had the tendency to bear my head into the sun, the book distribution, and try to keep as much as possible out of the politics.
No, of course, I'm not talking about that.
Of ISKCON, and but there are at the same time, I'm an observer.
Yes.
And you can knock, I'm an observer of ISKCON, and I cannot say that everything, it's perfect and nice.
No, of course, we can always
We
improve.
got a lot of problems.
Sure.
And but there is a lot of good. Srila Prabhupada, he gave us a missionary work. He gave us the institution and the mission. There are devotees who inspire me, like very much, like Indrajumna Swami, for example. I'm very close to him, good friend. He's like he asked me to become his big brother. I am his young brother.
Yes.
He's like, he doesn't have any positions. He's never been a minister or GBC, but he's
just preaching.
Preaching, missionary work. So I want to be like that.
Nice.
Recently, I've resigned, as a minister for book distribution for Europe, but still I'm acting, as a free agent.
Sure.
To train devotees, to
It's always good.
inspire the devotees. The future of ISKCON, I think that we should increase the missionary spirit, because problems starts when we increase the management, increase the structure, the institutional work, and minimize, the missionary work,
Yes.
the preaching.
Yes.
I think, the institution should be there to serve the mission.
Absolutely.
The mission should be always leading the crusade, and the managerial aspect, like ministering manpower, money, zone, positions, minister, GBC, all these things should be subordinate to the mission.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And I think we have a problems in ISKCON because there is not enough preaching. And there is not enough preaching even in our society in the terms of care for devotees.
Yes.
I would like to see more care, for all those devotees who have been alienated, like there's a lot of Prabhupada disciples, they don't feel into this box anymore, they don't fit
Yes.
and also senior, second generation, they feel marginalized, in living in no man's land, because there is a lack of care. We have a strategy how to make new devotees. We are very happy and very proud, to display or to glorify ourselves. How many books we have distributed, how much prasad we have, billions of prasad, how many temples we have opened, how many Indian devotees we have made. But these are just the numbers of goods that we have. But in terms of taking care of all those devotees that, we lost a lot of them. And also in terms of relationship. We think ISKCON is a very big supermarket. But actually in terms of relationships, in terms of cooperation and care and support for each other, and maintaining what we have, maintaining the devotees that we have made, we are still acting as a little corner shop. Unfortunately.
I remember Srila Prabhupada said, now we got milk, let's make a kheer. So that means we have a lot of devotees. Let's take care of them and let's inspire them. But many went away for reasons. So of course, but as you say, I think the mission is very powerful, and that's what we should keep in our heart. Because as long as the mission is imbibing to us, we can surpass all the difficulty. But when we become institutionalized religion, we know we come from Catholic background. We see the church where they went up and down and the same. Any institution goes through all up and down. So we have to keep the focus on the spiritual mission on which Prabhupada and Lord Chaitanya came. In Kali Yuga we are here, and then all the lost soul, they're lost. And if we just take it easy, I have position, I name, fame, glory, or whatever, then we forget the mission, then we're lost the battle. I feel
we
like
can see, just following the footprints of Srila Prabhupada. He, he was disgusted with the institutional modus operandi of the Gaudiya Math, that he created his own institution, ISKCON, but he wanted it, as prominently functioning, on a missionary basis.
Absolutely.
Books are the basis.
Are the basis.
And everything else will rest on it. He came, to the West preaching. He preached in all his 10 years relentlessly. And you could see Prabhupada, he was not interested to become a GBC, to become the chairman, to be involved in meetings, to be in positions. He was not even interested to be seen, as a guru. He was following the...
Yes.
He was a servant of his disciples.
Absolutely.
So he taught us the signs, how to serve each other, how to love for each other, how to make devotees and take care of them. He educated us, with his books and with his preaching, how to love each other and how to spread this love in the form of these books, because the words of Krishna, they are pure love. And Prabhupada, he would get up very early in the morning, to bathe in that love, translating, putting on the paper the words of Krishna.
Amazing.
And he wanted us to spread that love, and that's why, this is one of the reasons why I want to help him to spread, his missionary mood, to spread his love. Because these books, they represents the heart of Krishna, the heart of Prabhupada. So if we understand, that the mission that he gave us is more important than the institutional progress. We have to have some institution, some intelligence,
of course,
some, managers, but not to be swallowed up by this, by the, let's call it the snake of management.
yes,
We have to be, the snake, the hoods is supposed to protect the hoods of
The
this,
mission.
the mission, the missionary mood, the institution that Prabhupada has given us, the home that Prabhupada has given us. Because when we die, nothing comes with us. Neither, the position as a Sankirtan leader or temple president or GBC or guru,
nothing.
sannyasi, these are all things, dresses and all
External.
designations we have to leave behind, but
Yes.
service carries on. And that service has to be done with love. And this is the way, I'm not the solution for ISKCON. You are asking me
No.
what do I think?
We are
I'm
all
nobody.
part of that. Yes, of
I'm
course.
nobody. I'm just your friend.
Yes.
I'm second generation. I'm a grand disciple of Srila Prabhupada. I'm speaking as an observer, and I try my best to never disgrace Srila Prabhupada.
Of course.
And to follow his mood of preaching, missionary mood.
Nice.
Because when we do that, then we can cross so many difficulties.
Absolutely.
Every religion has a difficulty.
Of course. Every institution has difficulty.
We can't say, we can't deny it. But I think by preaching, first of all, like every morning I get up and the very first book I give is to my mind, to myself.
Absolutely.
If we preach to ourselves, let me be a better devotee than yesterday.
Yes. We can always improve.
Then we can always improve. I can be a better friend for someone.
Yes.
I can be a better husband for someone. I can be a better father. I can be a better grand disciple for Prabhupada every day. Because I'm always interested to improve my missionary mood.
Yes.
And I can be a better member of this society. If we can all think like that, I'm not trying, to indulge everyone, all the sannyasis and gurus. I'm not instructing anyone.
No.
But this is, the basic concept, how I would like to see ISKCON.
Yes.
That if everyone invited themselves into a better situation to become a better devotee, tomorrow.
And not to help each other also, because we are a
Yeah.
big family. Everywhere we go in the world, we have devotees. So if we become a better servant, and also the mood of the Lord is called Bhava Grahi Janardana. He gets pleasure by seeing the devotees' mood, and that's what he accepts. So if the devotees, they are cooperating, Prabhupada says you will show your love by your cooperation. So if we cooperate in helping each other and being Krishna conscious, that's a win-win situation.
And I've realized that, to achieve the merciful glance of Krishna, we have to perform service to humanity.
Yes.
So to get something that we never had, we have to do something that we never did.
Correct.
And that's something, it's to serve. We have to sometimes get out of the temple, get out of our comfort
zone
and try to help, few people every day. This is my mood. In the morning I get up, I brush my teeth. That's my pray to Krishna. I don't sit down in front of him and pray with the folded hands. I don't even go much to the temple. But I pray by talking to Krishna. I'm brushing my teeth, my dear Lord. And the people, I wonder, I start to talk to him. I wonder how they look like, the people who are meeting, who I am about to meet today. How they look like, who they are. I'm brushing my teeth, they're brushing their teeth. I'm having my breakfast, they're also having their breakfast. I'm intrigued, I'm curious to know who they are, these people that you are sending them to me to get your message.
Yes.
And Krishna likes that, when we meditate, on this. And very often I find, I get in the car to go to the service area to distribute books. These people, they also get in the car. I get out of the car, and these people, they get the urge, of using the toilet. They have to stop on the motorway. Sure. That's Krishna. Yeah. It makes them feeling, I have to pass urine. Water. So, and also I'm hungry. I have to have some coffee. I'm feeling sleepy. But that's all the trick of Krishna. These are the people destined to get his Bhagavad Gita. So they stop, they get the book from me, and often they say, I think I've seen you somewhere before. Very often.
Yes.
What it is, it's not that, I'm a familiar to them. Even though they said you look very familiar, it's because they see Krishna, their Paramatma, and my Paramatma, it's one, it's communicating. I've been praying to the Lord, to see who are those jivas fortunate, to get his message.
Beautiful.
And it's very nice, for me it's like, it's a beautiful episode every day, to absorb myself in. It's a meditation. And I feel very much the blessings of Srila Prabhupada, my Guru Maharaj, the Parampara, and ultimately Lord Chaitanya. Even though I go out for 3 hours, I give 10, 15 Gitas. But those people, I give them quality time. I invite them to the temple. Nice. There is a boy, Elliot, I gave him a book. And he told, that he's seen me somewhere, somehow. Somehow or another, he invited me in his confidence, and he went to the cash point. He gave me £100 donation for a Bhagavad Gita. He got, and I recorded the video, and he told me his experience. And then he lo and behold, he comes for Gopurnima at the temple, and we sit together, we hear the class of Kripamoya, and he goes on Harinam. And the day before, he gives up meat, fish, eggs, no gambling.
It's called Krishna's magic.
And then I introduced him to the brahmachari, and he loved the prasad, he got Bhagavad Gita, Prabhupada Lilamrita. I gave him a nectar of devotion. And he comes every Saturday to the Harinam in London.
I think people are waiting, and Krishna is making them this magic of meeting the devotees, and devotees are nice, so their life change as well.
Yeah.
I'd like to thank you very much for today's interview. If you would like to give a message for those devotees who are listening to Radio Mayapur, you want to give them a final message, short message to them?
My message is, whatever your day brings to you, always tolerate the bad and embrace it, because the test, it's in the hardship, not into the beautiful day, comfort day. Krishna's mercy comes in many forms.
Sure.
So please always spread the glories of Srila Prabhupada, that what is given us, whether it's in the form of books, prasadam, or harinam. do something every day, give something, the names of Krishna to someone who is lost in this world, and make your life, successful by serving the Lords of all the heart, Shri Guru and Gauranga, Sriman Mahaprabhu, and try to always give more importance to the mission than the institution. Of course, we have to cooperate with the institution, but the missionary spirit that Prabhupada has given us, that will live forever in our consciousness and in his books. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Vishwambhara Prabhu. It's been a great pleasure to be with you. And I hope to see you soon in Mayapur. So I can show you the studio and we can spend some time together. Thank you once again. Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai.
You're listening to Radio Mayapur with the best devotional, meditation, kirtan music, and inspirational podcast. This is Radio Mayapur.